Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshekar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, as all of you are aware, these episodes help us understand emerging companies from emerging sectors in a much better way. We get to talk to the promoters and the top managements of such companies and get to know, what is the company's broad business model, their growth journey, the aspirations of the promoters. And in this process, a lot of valuable information is shared by the promoters and the top managements with us, and which helps all our investors to take a very conscious investment call. And friends, today we've got another interesting company which is going to hit the capital market very soon. The company today we are going to talk about is called Vivid Electromech Limited. And I have the privilege of having Mr. Samir Vishvanath Attavar, who's the chairman and managing director. Samir ji, thank you very much, sir. It is my privilege to host you. And thank you very much for the time you have spent today for this interview.
Thank you, Avinash. Thank you for inviting me for this episode.
Yeah.
You can-
So, Samirji, first question, which is very elementary, we ask all the promoters, sir, if you could just tell us, what is the broad business model of our company? I read from the prospectus that we make low voltage panels and some other products, but if you could give us a flavor of what products we are largely into, and what is the positioning of our company now currently in the domestic market? And just a related question, to this is, how did this business journey start? Is it a first generation enterprise? Or did your father start it and then you continued? If you could please tell us.
I'll take your second question first. This company was incorporated in 1990. However, the operation started in 1998. So, like that, we are a 25-year-old plus company. Initially, when this company started, we were basically doing trading and we were doing EPC contracts, electrical EPC contracts.
Yeah.
Subsequently, down the line, we started manufacturing LT panels, low voltage panels only, and we were supplying it for a captive consumption in the EPC segment. About 8 years back, my father, due to health reasons, he had to retire. So then we started focusing more on manufacturing side. And strategically, about 5.5 years back, we exited the EPC segment completely, and we
Okay.
started concentrating only and only on manufacturing. In
Okay.
that, we initially started, we expanded our product base from low voltage to medium voltage also. Now,
Okay.
coming to our product base, see, these are basically switchboards, which in any project, may be residential, commercial, a data center, or a infrastructure, it is mandatory to have these kind of products. Okay, the specifications we consider in our line, the residential and commercial segment as a low tech industry, as well as the other part is a little on the higher spectrum. So the switchboards are used basically to distribute and control power to the complete project. So currently we are manufacturing low voltage and medium voltage.
Okay.
So there are many products in both the baskets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. And Samirji, just one simple related question that in which sectors, I was just reading the prospectus that data centers form a significant part of our, applications. Any other sector, where these, low voltage and other kind of panels which you manufacture find, so that we can get a understanding as which sectors are, closely associated with the growth of our company.
Okay. Since the last before 3 years, we were concentrating more on residential and commercial. But in the past 3 years and in the near future, we are concentrating on four sectors basically. Main would be the top two would be the data center segment, where I'm talking about hyperscalers. Second would be your infrastructure segment, and in that also infrastructure, we are concentrating more on airports, ports, and metros,
Okay.
which is and the third major segment where we are concentrating is on the solar EPCs,
Okay.
renewable energy, where our medium voltage products are placed in the solar basket. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And typically, Samirji, these products which you supply, is there any repeat business from our customers? Like, do you get repeat business or it's a one-time sale? I just wanted to understand how the business is structured, how the catering is like. Do they require any additions to the existing, to the low voltage panels or some upgradations? So how does this entire system work with the customer?
Yeah, okay. See, each segment is different, but broadly put, like the data center segment, what we are doing, see, there are about top 10, 15 data center colo hyperscalers in India, out of which
Correct.
majority of them we are working with. Now, these customer might be the same, but the projects are different. They are putting on,
Okay.
they keep on putting new data centers at different locations. We are servicing the same customer at different location. When it
Okay.
comes to the infrastructure segment, again, here in the first segment, the data center, we are supplying directly to the hyperscalers. But in the EPC segment, where the infrastructure comes into play, the players are again the usual EPC, big EPC contractors. But again, the
Okay.
projects are different.
Okay.
There we are supplying it to the EPC route.
Okay. No, understood. Samirji, now just a small understanding on, we have done around 155 crores as of March 25. Sir, how many active customers do we have? Like, across all your products, if you can give us a rough number, कितने customers हम cater करते हैं?
The total number of customers, see, this is a project-oriented business. So if I remove the main top three segments, what we are doing, the balanced two, three segments, what we have, those are industry segments. So industry segments is a one-time customer. They again come
Correct.
after next expansion when they have 2 to 3 years down the line, they'll come back to
Correct.
us.
Correct.
In the first two segments, we have repeat customers, about
Correct.
30 to 40, which is always there with us. And in
Okay.
the balance 50%, there are a lot of number is huge. Yeah.
Okay. And just a simple question, Samirji, in the last 2, 3 years, growth has been quite rapid for our company. So, sir, how many, on an average, sir, har saal, how many companies have we added? Because, this is a very important variable the market would like to know. Like 30, 40 customers are there with you, they will stand by you. In fact, we have seen very good marquee customers which you cater. But have you added some new customers also every year? I mean, has this happened?
Yes, yes, it has to keep on happening because my where we do the industrial factories, what segment, what we are doing, the EPC contract, solar, what we are doing, these are all we keep on adding on a monthly basis customers.
Okay. Two things which I observed. One is, from Maharashtra, a large percentage of our revenue comes. So, any specific reason why Maharashtra is a dominant space, and is the company planning to move out of Maharashtra and do some other projects outside Maharashtra also?
Yeah. Okay, there is a main reason. The data center and the metro segment, since we are Maharashtra based, we could cater to the location also plays a key role. Preferences are given in the location aspect. So we have two factories, one in Bombay and one in Pune. So we are catering to the two of the three major hubs for data centers. One is Bombay and Pune. We are catering, but yes, we have plans. We have started working on expanding our geographical location to the south, especially Vishakhapatnam, where we are seeing a huge upside in data centers.
So, another thing, Samirji, I was looking at your client concentration, although, your customers are rock solid, from the names which we have given. But typically, top 10 customers account for about 57 to 58%. So, do you think this is also going to change as we go forward? I mean, you get new customers, from other states, from new customers. So, in the next, say, 2 to 3 years, can we find that this customer, concentration also will be little de-risk from your side?
Yes, absolutely. Now, what figures you are quoting is for the last year.
Yeah.
Current year, we have worked on this. We have increased our customer base. What we plan is to have the top 10 customers should not be contributing more than 40 to 50% of our top line.
Okay. Okay, understood. And sir, tell me one thing now on the macro opportunity. Since you have been doing this business for a very long time, sir. In terms of data centers, now everybody knows. Government have also given them a tax holiday till 2047. A lot
Yes.
of investments are coming in data center. But otherwise, the other related segments which require these low voltage panels, sir, what is the kind of opportunity and the addressable market we see for our products? And in the next say 3 to 5 years, how is our company planning to capitalize on this growth? If you could please, share your thoughts.
Yeah. The main thing is what we I need to see this year. What we are doing, we are running at about 95% capacity. So with the upcoming plant, so we were not able to cater to the current demand because of the peak loads. So in the coming up few months, when we are coming up with a new facility,
Hmm.
we would also again start exploring the other segments which we were not able to cater because of the delivery constraints.
Okay.
So now coming to the metro segment, what we are seeing, pan India, there's a big push by the government to the bullet trains coming up, the metros coming up in each and every city. And here, past experience do matter as a PQ, pre-qualification. There are stringent rules for pre-qualification in the metro segment, and we are uniquely placed very well because we have our lines which we have supplied, which are running since years.
Okay. Samirji, one thing which I observed also, please give me little clarification, is that we've got very old marquee customers like ABB. Now, typically when we tackle such MNC customers, does it happen that the OEM gives you the design and you manufacture as per their specification? Is it something like contract manufacturing from our side?
No. So this question actually is a little wrong in the sense ABB is not my customer. In fact, we are buying from them the switchgear
Okay.
part, and we are
Okay.
also partnered with them.
Okay. Fine. So basically,
So
you are
if you
just partnering with them. Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
we are basically we call them a system integrator. We are their system integrators. So
Okay.
we have a license with them where
Okay.
they have given us the license to manufacture as certain products, products in our portfolio as per their design.
Okay. Understood. Samirji, we find that your margins are pretty attractive. Every year numbers have been improving. So, sir, what is the competitive intensity in our business? Is it still manageable to get these kind of margins in this industry, or is it because our product quality is better, our execution is better, our service is liked by the customers, and that is why we get better margins as compared to others? Sir, what is the main reason for this attractive margin?
Okay. If you see a few years back when I was doing projects in the commercial and residential segment, so there we had quite subdued margins there because of the immense competition, because the project sizes were very small. Correspondingly, when we started doing this kind of mega projects, so here there are two big factors. One is your engineering cost goes down because ours is a unique product. It's a custom-made product, so engineering is a big factor of it. And when the larger the project, you get a lot of opportunity to do value engineering. That is one
Okay.
major reason. And
Correct.
second is when we are negotiating with our vendors, because of the economies of scale, we are getting better prices for larger single orders.
Okay. Understood. And Samirji, what is the normal timeline of these projects like? Typically, when you get a project from X customer, sir,
Yeah.
what is the timeline from production to execution and then delivery to the customer? कितना time होता है? What is the cycle time normally?
Okay. See, I would divide it into two type of projects. One are the small projects, which we have been doing it since 15, 20 years. So we have old customers, so we can't refuse them. So we are still doing it. Those are basically after purchase order. There's a small process of drawing approval. We have to submit our drawings and get it approved. So once we get a drawing approval, it is 4 to 6 weeks delivery. But when it comes
Okay.
to larger projects, the drawing approval itself goes into a month or month and a half, and the
Okay.
deliveries start anywhere between 8 weeks and we end up by 12 weeks.
Okay.
That's a typical life cycle of any project.
And Samirji, one thing which I think I want to understand very clearly from you that we are in an industrial product. Obviously there is competition, but in terms of differentiation, is it that our quality and our service is far better than the other players in the market? I mean, can we say that two, three qualitative points from your side? Ki what makes customers to come back to for their requirements to us in a much better way compared to others? Because the numbers are showing that performance is growing very rapidly every year by year. So, behind the scenes, what has been the efforts which has been put by the management on the product side? If you could please tell us.
Okay. There are quite a lot of effort has been put in the last 3 4 years to make us stand out in the crowd. One is we have reverse integrated the complete process in house, right from
Okay.
your fabrication to your powder coating. The whole manufacturing process is in house. Unlike with many of my competition where they get it from outside ready-made
Okay.
fabrication and all. So this has added three things. One is the quality is in absolute control, delivery timelines are met, and definitely the cost is also maintained.
Okay. Samirji, now I understand that we have got about 200 crores orders as of December. Sir, by when these orders are likely to be completed? If you could please tell us.
Yeah. See, these numbers, what have been mentioned in the prospectus, these are as of December 31st. Now, you have to understand this is a very dynamic numbers. Every day there are dispatches happening, revenue is getting booked, every day new orders are coming in. But we foresee majority of this 200 would be done in this current financial year only.
Okay, fine. Understood. Uh, Samirji, now let's come to the financials. I think financials, I was seeing that, sir, the numbers have been very strong, 20 crores profit compared to 4 crores last year. Revenue has also, increased significantly. Sir, tell us basically some key reasons. What was the major reason for this increase in top line profitability? Was it a mix of revenue as well as better pricing what you got? That was the reason better number on the top line came and the profitability.
See, as I mentioned before, there are a couple of reasons for this because project sizes have increased dramatically over last year. And secondly, in the segment of data center and metro, definitely the bottom lines are much more stable. And as I said, because of the large scale operations, we could maintain the same overhead as and increase our top line.
Okay, understood. Samirji, now let's come to the most important question of this interview. We are going public, so it's a big achievement for you and your team. You will be now a public limited company. So, Samirji, what is the main reason for this objective of raising money, and how much capital are we planning to raise? If you could please tell us.
Yeah. Okay. We are the objective to raise this capital was because of what we are seeing, the kind of demand in our in the inquiry base, or you can say the pipeline. What we are seeing is so tremendously high that with the current facility we are not able to cater to that. So we are raising 130 crores in this particular round. And what we plan is we already started taken action in the expansion program. As mentioned in the RSP, we have already acquired the land. Construction is in full swing. We hope to the next financial year, within the next 4 5 months, come up start our trial runs in a new factory. So majority of the investments will be diverted for the capital expansion, and a subsequent portion is also kept for working capital aside to increase to better our purchases.
Okay, understood. Sir, now talking about working capital, Samir, ji, what is the broad working capital cycle for our business? Like typically from the time you get the order, you manufacture it, you send it to the customer, then the customer makes the payment. Working capital cycle for us, how long is it typically?
It's roughly typically between 40 to 50 days is our working capital cycle.
Okay, so basically money keeps coming smoothly. So there are no hitches as far as collections are concerned, right?
No, there are no.
Okay. And Samirji, typically, what is the broad import content in our raw material? Like, we may manufacture these products. Typically, what could be the imported raw material content for us?
It's very negligible. See, directly we are not importing any raw material or other,
Okay.
switch gear or something directly.
Okay.
But yes, what we are buying from the OEMs like ABB or Schneider, they
Okay.
have typically 4 to 5% of their raw material comes from abroad. So we
Okay.
are not relying anything, but they import it directly. They manufacture it and supply it to us. So
Okay.
we are not
And
that dependent upon imports.
okay. So basically, you all are not going to be impacted by the weak rupee or the imported, raw material because it is a very negligible part.
We are
Okay.
buying everything in rupees locally,
Okay.
so we are
Okay.
insulated in that matter. Yeah.
Okay. Acha, now, frankly, domestic market has been a big market for us, but will this be the main focus? Will you all also think of looking at any export market if the opportunity presents to you?
Currently, we are our medium voltage segment vertical. We are engaged in a little bit of exports, but yes, we are looking to expand that portfolio slow and steadily.
Okay. And Samirji, now just a related question which most investors would like is that since you have been the core promoters of the company, you must be definitely having a full-fledged team with you. But sir, on a day-to-day level, on a functional basis, what is your main role in the company? Do you look at sales? Do you look at existing, customer relationships? What is the main functional role which you play in the company?
You see, we have a very professional team. The key people, the HODs or these people are there with me since decades. So fortunately, I'm very fortunate to have them on board. So they take care of practically the day-to-day running. My key involvement is basically more into the product development for the future, the R&D, and customer interaction, and basically strategic calls.
Okay, understood. Last question now, Samirji, I think which is a very important question. We have seen COVID, but now, challenges do keep coming. But tell me one thing, sir, in our business, what is the most important risk? Which is the risk which you monitor every day, 24 by 7, when you come to office every morning?
See, we don't have one particular where I have to need to monitor it every day. But yes, we are very concerned that the three top segments what we are catering to, uh, as I said, data center, metro, and all. So all these three segments for me is a very. So I want to increase the number of segments further to de-risk my portfolio.
Okay, understood. So basically, you want to de-risk your, risk by looking at more and more wider customer segment, which can help you, basically broad-based your operation. So anyway, Samirji, it was very nice to talk to you. I think we could understand the company in a very nice way from your side. So thank you very much, and best wishes from me, from for you and your entire management team. And sir, best wishes for the forthcoming public issue also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time.